Once again, we have gathered here for the technical session and panel discussion. So, it's my honor, my privilege, I don't know what to say, to invite one of the stalwart in naturopathy. He is himself a living legend. So, may I request Dr. B.T. Chidananda Murthy sir to come on the dais, and he will be chairing the sessions. So Dr. B.T.C. Chidananda Murthy has been ex-principal and CMO of JSS Institute of Naturopathy and Yoga, Coimbatore. He has been CMO and the founder of almost all the organizations in India. So a big round of applause. He is someone who has seen naturopathy in a very nascent phase, and today in his presence only it has been grown leaps and bounds. He has worked as CMO at Jindal BNIS College, Jindal MD College, Jindal Naturopathy and Yoga Institute, Bengaluru. He has been former director of NIN, National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune, that comes under Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. He has served as director of CCRYN, New Delhi, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, once again under Ministry of Ayush and Government of India. He has been member of Karnataka Government Ayurveda Unani Naturopathy and Yoga Practitioner Board. He has worked as President, Karnataka State Nature Cure Federation. He has been guiding many PhD and PG scholars. He has been member Board of Studies for Naturopathy and Yoga, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bengaluru. He has been member Senate and Board of Studies of TN Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai. He has been founder director of Yovan Wellness Center, New York, USA. There has been many things. He has been state awarded by Government of Karnataka. He has been awarded with Patanjali Gold Medal by Government of Karnataka. He has been awarded Dr. Vittal Das Modi Gold Medal in 2001. He has been awarded with International Vegetarian of Year 2007. He has been awarded with Yoga Sri. There is a list. So we have a very eminent personality here. And for the speakers, I would like to request Dr. Suman Lata to come on the dais, and please come on the dais and request our guest speakers to come at the same place. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. I would like to invite Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa on the stage. Please come on the stage, sir. Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa is a researcher in the field of body-mind medicine, specializing in yoga therapy. Originally from Toronto, he earned his PhD at the University of Toronto, where he also began his practice of Kundalini Yoga under Yogic Bhajana. He is an assistant professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School and an associate neuroscientist in the division of sleep and circadian disorder at the Department of Medicine and Neurology in the Boston since 2007. Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa has served as the Director of Research at both the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health in Massachusetts and the Kundalini Research Institute in the New Mexico. I heartily welcome you, sir, once again. Next speaker is, I would like to invite Dr. R. Nagarathna ma'am. Please come on the stage. Dr. R. Nagarathna ma'am is one of the pioneer in the field of yoga therapy. She is the Dean Division of Yoga and Life Science and Chief Consultant at Ayuryog Expo, SVYASA. Dr. Nagarathna did her MBBS from Bangalore Medical College, MD in Internal Medicine from Mysore Medical College, her MRCP and FRCP from Edinburgh, UK. She has over 80 publications in national and international journals and has 11 books on series of yoga for different elements published. She has been awarded by numerous awards such as Patanjali Award for contributions in the field of yoga by Indian System of Medicine and Homeopathy, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, Dr. P.S. Shankar Vaidya Shri Award by Dr. P.S. Shankar Pratisthana, Gulbarga, Women of Excellence Award by the Badgandu Sangh Association, Bangalore, for service to humanity through yoga therapy, Karnataka, Kalpavalli Award for service to women through yoga, awarded by Saswati, Bangalore, Doctors Day Award by IMA Bangalore branch. I heartily welcoming you, ma'am, once again. Now I would like to invite Dr. Naveen G.H, Principal of JSS Institute of Naturopathy and Yogic Science. Please welcome, sir, on the stage. He has completed his BNYS from SDM College, Naturopathy and Yogic Science, MSc from Manipal University, PhD in Psychiatry from Nimhans, Bangalore. He has more than 10 PubMed publications. I am welcoming you, sir, once again. Now I would like to invite Dr. Suyash Raj Shivam, Founder and Director of Sanyam Samvaad Foundation. Welcome on the stage, sir. He has done economics and honor from Hindu College and pursuing his MA from St. Stephen Philosophy, MA in Philosophy from St. Stephen, Delhi University, and MSc Yoga from SVYASA. Heartily welcome you, sir. Now,
And our next dignitary is, everybody knows this name, Dr. Pratap Chauhan. Please, a big round of applause. A world-renowned Ayurveda and lifestyle expert is between us. So thank you, sir, making this time out of your busy schedule. So Dr. Pratap Chauhan, though everybody knows about him, I just read out his profile. He is an author, public speaker, TV personality, and acclaimed Ayurveda Acharya. He currently serves as the director of JIVA Ayurveda and spearheads all its medical and pharmaceutical activities. He is a silver medalist. You are a gold medalist in the field, sir. So he is a silver medalist in Ayurveda from University of Delhi. He is an expert in pharmacology and Rasa Shastra and a pioneer of applying modern technology to the ancient science of Ayurveda. Dr. Chauhan is a member of various national and international health associations. He also serves as the chairman, International Cell to All India Indian Medical Graduate Association, New Delhi. Dr. Chauhan's TeleDoc project won him UN World Summit Award. He was also awarded the Best Ayurvedic Physician Award by Hakim Ajmal Khan Society and was later invited to meet late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, former President of India. Dr. Chauhan is also a lifetime Asoka Fellow recipient. So it's honor, sir. It's honor for all the dignitaries who are present over here. So I sincerely request Dr. Chidananda Murthy sir to please start the session. and start with your chairperson note. So over to you, sir.
The experts, senior experts on the dais, Dr. Nagarathna, Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa, Dr. Pratap Chauhan, and Naveen, and other person, Suyash Raj Shivam, and the expert of the dais, Swamijis, and hundreds of students come from the various colleges. So today's discussion is about the management of lifestyle diseases with the integrative approach of naturopathy, yoga, and also Ayurveda. In all naturopathy hospitals, we have been very well integrated yoga for more than 5 or 6 decades, as I have been seeing all over India. The name of most of the naturopathy hospital, Nature Cure Hospital were there, Nature Cure and Yoga Hospital. And the Jindal had started in 1978 at Bangalore, Institute of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, INYS. So with that popular INYS name, we could start BNYS degree colleges. That's what. Earlier it was only naturopathy courses. Our yoga courses were separate certificate diploma courses. The first time we started the regular university curriculum, because even yoga also the diploma courses only, we started with BNYS integrated course. Of course, even in the Ayurveda is well accepted in naturopathy also. We teach the basic Swastarustha is there in the nature cure philosophy of nature cure subjects. We teach detailed Swastarutta, then Rutucharya, Dinacharya, or Ratricharya, all these things are preventive models were taught well. In order to give better effective the integration of naturopathy yoga and some modules of Ayurveda need not be medicine. Ayurveda is not that to give people are medicine. Without nature medicine we can do. Mahatma Gandhi ji has practiced nature cure in his lifelong, and in his Vardha Ashram he never allowed any medicine in his campus to not only to him, his family, even whoever guest, whoever is staying there. But he used to treat them with naturopathy, mud therapy, diet therapy, fasting therapy. So the lifestyle we have to change, otherwise there is no go. We have to change, return to nature. That is the fundamental philosophy written by so many naturopaths, not only in India, but in the Western countries also. Western doctor like Herbert Shelton, Dr. Henry Lindlar, they all realized 100 years back that we need to return to nature in order to get away from disease, not to get disease, but to preserve health, preventive, promotive, curative, preservative, everything for that one is, the only thing is natural life. See, in Ayurveda, or in Veda also it is told, Ahara Nidra Bhayamaitu Nani Samanya Manusha Prani Samanaha. In the context of food, eating, drinking, Vihara, Nidra, rest and relaxation, Bhaya, mental faculties, mental activities, and Maitunani, sex and procreation, these are all common to men and animals. Then why animals and birds, billions, which pathy they give? Who give them medicine, antibiotics, so many things, vitamins, minerals, B complex, vitamin D, etc. Nothing. No tablets. They know how to maintain health themselves. Whenever, students please maintain silence. Whenever the animal gets sick, what they go? Which system, which therapy they go? What therapy they do? If you read the book of Dr. Herbert Shelton from America, whenever you get acute problem, some problem, headache, vomiting, what to do, what to eat, what to drink, which test, which doctor, panic they get, which medicine. So what is the basic thing? Whenever you get some disorderliness, diseasiness. What to do? Best thing is not to do anything. Not to do anything is, don't get panic, just relax. Give total rest, physical rest, mental rest, physiological or functional rest, digestive rest, and sensory rest. If you give these 4 types of rest, body heal thyself. Human body has got remarkable recuperative power. If scope is given, it can heal thyself because it has created the diseasiness. It can cure itself. The power is, healing power is within that one if you do not interfere chemically or otherwise. That is, we should not interfere the body's system. We should rather support it, support the elimination. Fever is a friend, not a foe. People get annoyed. For anything and everything nowadays, people are dumping with antibiotics, and that is killing the billions of bacteria in our intestinal guts, and people are losing their resistance, and with that they are getting multiple diseases. Multiple diseases. The more medicine, the more dishes, the more food, more diseases, more suffering. The rest is the best thing, total rest is. That's what the animal does. The animal doesn't eat whenever they get sick. Even the meat eater, dog and cat, they go and grab some grass. They do Udyan Bandha, Nauli. They vomit out, Umandauti, they kunjal, they do it. And for 2 days, 3 days, they take sun bath, air bath. Total rest they take and they become okay. After that, they will start eating. Whenever men get sick, he don't eat anything. Sorry, don't do anything other than eating and drinking more thing. So we need to, our body requires internal rest. That is the vital economy. We have to conserve the energy. That's take care of everything. With this concept, we do whatever you want to do, but natural lifestyle is required to improve we should concentrate on our daily routine. Dinanitya, Dinacharya and Rutucharya or Ratricharya, that has to be told more or less moderately. We have to be moderate. Not all that was been taught in 5,000 years we can follow here. According to suitable to the modern society, today's context we should do. Main thing is we should avoid all unnatural food, take natural colorful food. Vipgayar, all the nature is producing multiple color things. That is more helpful to us than having the artificially colored, flavored, preserved, deodorized, bleached, emulsified and whatnot, bleached. Ramdev Baba calls the cold drinks as a bleaching liquid, bleaching. So it can be used for toilet cleaning, not for human consumption. So with this, I request our experts to put their idea and self-health reliance. We should go for not that one. We should not ask. People think is integrative means the person should go to Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, the homeopathy. It's not that. But just going to Tirupati also helps a lot. A faith cure is also required. Not taking multiple medicine is integration, which need not be khichdi. We should make them to, that's what Mahatma Gandhi has practiced also. Self-health reliance. Swastha swavalamban hona chahiye. Not to depend upon medicine and drugs. People were living on their own for 100 years in Indian farmers and sages. They were living healthy people. But now that is not so. So we need to simplify our health system, not complicate it too much. Simple living, simple food, and better to avoid medicine. We need to teach the society better health without medicine. With medicine, we cannot have a long life or longevity and so sound health. So with this, thank you. Now I invite Dr. Sat Bir Khalsa, as he is very popular not only in India, in America. Last year I met him in the International Integrity Conference at the Baltimore. Thank you.
Respected Chairperson and fellow faculty on the dais and respected delegates, I want to thank the organizers for the invitation to allow me to present here at this conference. And my topic is really on yoga, the evidence base for yoga as a lifestyle practice. And this is an area that is very close to my heart. And so I would like to start actually by talking about the prevalence of the practice of yoga in modern society. Now, we have surveys, and probably the most comprehensive surveys that have been done in the United States. And what you can see from this graph is that in 2017, 14% of US adults are now practicing yoga. And what is also remarkable from this graph is the increase. You can see this dramatic increase every 5 years. It increased 50% in the last 2 5-year intervals, which suggests this remarkable increase in the popularity of yoga practice. Now, we have a few surveys that have been done in India, which have yet to be published. And one of these has been done by the SVYASA team in coordination with my colleague and speaker here at the conference, Dr. Akshay Anand from PGI in Chandigarh. And in this study, they did a survey of 112,000 Indians. And what they found was that about 12% of Indians are responding yes to the question, do you practice yoga? But because of the way the question was asked, I think the population is probably a little bit more than this. So it is very popular in India. Another survey that has been done in collaboration with my colleague Subodh Tiwari from Kaivalya Dhamma and the National Council of Educational Research and Training here in India, which surveyed all of the public schools and private schools in India. And they surveyed 4,200 schools, and what they found is that 97% of these schools are offering some degree of yoga practices. So we can see the popularity of yoga is also large and growing as well, which is very good news. Now, it has grown so popular that we can now see the evidence in the culture in India. Certainly, when I arrived at the Delhi airport, going through the baggage terminal, I could see this sign here which said, "Yoga in the park is rejuvenating when the air is cleaner." So yoga is very, very much here in the media and in the public. In fact, from this ad here, you can even see that you can get Shanti guaranteed with yoga here in India. So it has become very popular. Now, I want to turn the attention to what's happening, I think, at this point in time with yoga in society. So we now have this growth of yoga popularity in the ashrams and the studios, the yoga centers, the gyms and the spas, and that is this 14% to 12% of the population. But what we are seeing now at this point in time is the slow introduction of these yoga practices into what I'm calling mainstream society. This is our mainstream societal institutions, the public schools, the workplaces, and the healthcare system. Now, what's important for this transition to really be successful is actually research. Because research is the language of these modern societal institutions. These institutions need evidence to show that yoga is safe and that it is effective for bringing into the public schools, for bringing it into the hospital settings, and for bringing it into the workplace. So my career is really devoted towards the promotion of research on yoga, which will help facilitate this transition of yoga into mainstream professional society. Now, we have a growing body of research on yoga, which is showing the science of yoga, how yoga works. We're showing the psychophysiology, the physiology, the psychological changes that take place. And you heard these excellent presentations this morning by my colleagues Dr. Tellis and Dr. Cohen going through some of this psychophysiology that we're familiar with. And so when scientists reach a level where there are many of these publications, they start to publish review papers. And some of these review papers are posted here, published in well-known biomedical journals. The top one is on how yoga reduces stress, the second one on yoga immune functioning, the third one on neurophysiological and neurocognitive mechanisms, another one on yoga for stress, and the bottom one on yoga for self-regulatory mechanisms. So all of this research is giving us a complete understanding of the neuroscience, the neuroendocrine characteristics of how yoga works on the mind and on the body. And we've also summarized this in our medical textbook, which we published a few years ago. We have a chapter in that book on the psychophysiology of yoga practices. Now, this is the logic model that we published in that book, and it really summarizes a lot of this psychophysiological research, and it it presents in this logic model how this is all put together. So yoga, as we know, and as has been studied in many studies, is not just the asanas, but also the pranayama, the deep relaxation, and very importantly, the meditation component of yoga practice. We know from very rigorous studies that yoga improves fitness on the physical level. Through the asanas, through the pranayama, we're improving flexibility, strength, respiratory function, coordination, balance, and that leads to a psychological self-efficacy. We know about self-regulation, and the biggest aspects that are improved in self-regulation are the management of stress and emotion. And as people practice yoga over time, they develop resilience to stress and equanimity in the face of emotional ups and downs. And that leads to a psychological self-efficacy and empowerment. We know through the meditative practices that people improve their mind-body awareness. This has also been called mindfulness. And we know that yoga increases the level of mind-body awareness and mindfulness through the practice of focus of attention. And that leads to improvements in cognitive function and concentration, and very importantly, into the state of metacognition, the idea that we have some self-regulation of our own thought processes. And this is critical in terms of maintaining positive mental state and also for the prevention of psychological conditions. And then finally, on the right-hand side, in the final box, is what I'm calling spirituality. Many people that practice yoga over months and years experience these deep unitive states of consciousness. And these states are very powerful, and people report a change in their life, change in their perspective of life. This leads to a sense of transcendence, the flow state, a change, a real transformation in their lives, and a sense of different life meaning and purpose. Now, the research in these 4 boxes is growing and very strong. On the fitness, we have very, very strong research. Many studies, this is very objective evidence. It's very clear that yoga can improve these fitness levels. Through the work that's being done with neuroimaging, such as the fMRI, and molecular biology, such as genomic expression, we are starting to see very powerful research showing the actual way that self-regulation and mind-body awareness are being affected very powerfully by yoga practices. But we still have a lot of research to do on these effects on spirituality. So as a consequence of all of these different aspects, these many different aspects on human function, we see changes on the bottom in global human functionality, from the gross level of muscles and connective tissue to the deepest experiences that humans can have. And this is improving physical and mental health, stress and emotion regulation, awareness, mindfulness, and metacognition, and then the deeper positive psychological states, such as positive behavior, well-being, values, life purpose and meaning, and what I'm referring to as spirituality. So now let us turn to our attention to how this is impacting its effects downstream onto these different aspects of lifestyle. And one of the places that yoga has been used is in medicine, as yoga therapy, as a treatment for disease. And we published this paper a few years ago which summarized the publications that were coming out on yoga for treatment of different types of disease. And what you can see is this remarkable increase in the frequency of these publications just over the past 10 years. This is really an exponential increase over the past 10 years. And the curve below are the randomized controlled trials, which suggest that we are also increasing not just in the quantity of research, but also in the quality of this research. And we have published this book, The Principles and Practice of Yoga in Healthcare, and I was honored to be joined by my co-editors, Dr. Cohen and Dr. Tellis, in this book. This is a landmark textbook, we believe. It really summarizes all of the research that's been done on the therapeutic studies of yoga practice. And it is really our face to modern medicine. It is the way we are now envisioning this new language that we are using to justify the inclusion of yoga into the healthcare system. And in this book, we have a chapter that's dedicated to yoga for prevention and wellness. So this really talks about the factors and the virtues of how yoga really has a positive effect on lifestyle. Now, I want to turn my attention to something that's been raised already in this meeting this morning, and this is this epidemic of so-called non-communicable diseases, or NCDs. These are lifestyle diseases. These are chronic diseases. The diseases include things like cardiovascular disease, cancer, respiratory diseases, diabetes, and a number of others. Now, this is really the major burden in modern medicine, and for that matter, modern life and modern lifestyle. These quotes on this slide are from the World Health Organization, just to give you a sense of how serious this epidemic is. The quotes are from this document that the NCDs are by far the leading cause of death worldwide. The world is reaching an inflection point. It is that serious. 15 million people will continue to die each year from NCDs in the prime of their lives. And the most important feature, which was raised this morning by Dr. Cohen, these diseases are largely preventable. Most of these deaths tomorrow can be avoided by changes in lifestyle. Now, the statistics that I show you here are actually from India. This is from a World Health Organization document, which shows that 63% of all deaths in India are from these chronic diseases. It is actually higher in the United States. It is 90% of all deaths are from chronic diseases. So this is the major burden in modern healthcare, in modern society. So what are the risk factors for these chronic diseases? They are lifestyle issues. And these have been described this morning as well. Physical inactivity, sedentary behavior, unhealthy diet. We're talking about refined foods. We're talking about high intake of sugar. We're talking about processed foods. And we're talking about, to a large degree, excessive food consumption. And then there are unhealthy behaviors in general. The primary ones, which has also been mentioned this morning, are cigarette smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and the use of addictive substances. We have an opioid epidemic in the United States, for example. And then finally, I would add the epidemic that's ongoing in chronic stress. This is very clearly happening. Our American Psychological Association does a yearly survey on chronic stress showing that different elements of chronic stress in modern society are continuously increasing. And this chronic stress factor is actually especially important because it actually affects the top 3 risk factors to a large degree. So this body of risk factors is really at the heart of the genesis of these preventable chronic lifestyle diseases. So the question is, how is modern medicine coping with this epidemic of these chronic diseases and for these risk factors? And the answer is not very well. And the reason is that modern medicine is focused on treatment of symptoms of existing diseases. It is not focused on prevention of diseases. So in that sense, it is not really a healthcare system, it is really a disease care system. Furthermore, the tools that are used in modern medicine really focus on high-tech treatments. So we're talking about pharmaceuticals and we're talking about surgery. Now, if you look at these risk factors, none of these risk factors are really treatable by either pharmaceuticals or surgery. So in a sense, we have a modern medical system which does not have the tools to deal with the underlying causes of this epidemic of NCDs. So how does yoga fit with these risk factors? Well, we go back to that logic model which talks about fitness, self-regulation, awareness, and spirituality. Yoga is a physical activity. Not only that, but when you practice yoga, you enhance your physical activity levels. Self-regulation allows you to cope with stress. The mind-body awareness gives you more awareness of your experience of positive and negative lifestyle behaviors and therefore can change lifestyle behaviors. And the spirituality aspect comes into play because much of the goals of life in modern society are materialistic. And these goals are not satisfying and they lead to unhappiness. So this spirituality that yoga can bring can change that. And that is also tied to this epidemic of lifestyle diseases. So does yoga improve health? We have a little bit of evidence on this. And some of this comes from analysis of yoga practitioners, people who've been practicing yoga for a long time. And from this study, you can see that in terms of general health, they report excellent or very good general health. They have never smoked or have quit smoking, and they have high or moderate levels of physical activity. In terms of mental health, on the right, in terms of flourishing mental health, twice as many yoga practitioners report flourishing mental health as compared to the general population. Not only do they report better health, but they attribute that better health to the yoga practice. So in answer to the question, my health has improved because of yoga, 90% of yoga practitioners agree or strongly agree with that statement. So they not only report better health, they attribute that better health to the yoga practice, suggesting that yoga may well be a very powerful strategy for wellness and improving health and preventing these diseases. Now, I want to turn my attention to a practical example that's been done in our laboratory recently. And this addresses this issue in modern medicine called burnout. And burnout is essentially the inability of workers to cope with the stress of their occupation. And one of the areas of occupation that we've dealt with, an occupation which is highly stressful, is that of medical providers in the healthcare system, particularly of doctors. In fact, this has recently become a major topic in modern medicine. And you can see from these examples here, this is on the top is the Journal of the American Medical Association, Prevalence of Burnout Among Physicians. From the New England Journal of Medicine, To Care is Human, Collectively Confronting the Clinician Burnout Crisis. And then in Europe, The Lancet, UK NHS Staff, Stressed, Exhausted, Burnt Out. And from the British Medical Journal, Tackling Burnout in UK Trainee Doctors is Vital for a Sustainable, Safe, High-Quality NHS. And this recent report in the United States, which summarized the evidence, suggested that the prevalence of physician burnout has reached critical levels. It appears to be getting worse. 78% of surveyed physicians experience feelings of professional burnout. And another statistic which is rather surprising as well is in the United States, on average, one doctor every day of the year commits suicide. And this is how serious the problem is in modern medicine in this stressful occupation. So yoga represents a strategy that we can use to address the core issues underlying burnout, one of them being this ability to cope with stress. And this problem is also here in India. So this is a review paper published about the burnout syndrome among medical providers across India. And the conclusion from that paper was that high burnout levels were uniformly recorded for the entire population of healthcare workers. I've been working with the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health, which is a yoga center in the United States. They've developed a standardized yoga program called RISE, which is to be implemented in occupational settings and also as a retreat program. And so we have studied this program in Harvard medical doctors. So this is a study that was done at Brigham and Women's Hospital, one of the Harvard Medical School medical facilities. This was funded by the hospital. And we studied physicians in the neonatal intensive care unit and the obstetrics and gynecology department. This was a 6-week yoga program that was offered at the hospital to the physicians. And most of these, all of the participants were female doctors. What we found after that study was a statistically significant drop in burnout on the top left. You can see at the end of the program at post, we had a statistically significant decline. 2 months later at the follow-up, those burnout levels were still low. And looking at all the other graphs, which are different factors underlying burnout, disengagement, anxiety, professional fulfillment, work exhaustion, depression, were all improved to a statistically significant level. So these are really modern doctors in a major leading medical institution that have experienced the benefits of yoga. Not only have those burnout factors improved, but we've also shown reductions in perceived stress, both at the end of the program and 2 months later. Also, we showed improvements in resilience to stress, their ability to bounce back from stress, to tolerate stress. And that was increased at the end of the program and maintained at the long-term follow-up. And also, we looked at an underlying factor that might be contributing to this, and that is mind-body awareness, mindfulness. The mindfulness scores of these physicians increased at the end of the program and stayed high after 2 months. Now, we've extended this program not only to physician faculty, we've also extended it to Harvard Medical School resident physicians. And this is a preliminary study that we're just in the process of analyzing the data, but what you can see is reductions in perceived stress compared to a control group that had no changes, and also improvements in resilience with no changes in the control group. And so now we're collating the data from a second cohort from this study to show that this is also further statistically improving. Now, the other thing that's happening at Harvard Medical School is something that is actually rather unique in the field of modern medicine. And that is that Harvard Medical School has established a mandatory resilience training program for all first-year medical students. So the first iteration of this program has just begun. This is run by Dr. Darshan Mehta, who's at the Benson Henry Institute for Mind-Body Medicine and the Osher Center for Integrative Medicine. And we had programs in August, and so I ended up teaching about 60 first-year medical students a lecture and a practice of yoga. So this is very powerful, that we can bring yoga to medical physicians, to medical trainees, to residents, because I cannot think of a better population to have an experience of yoga to share with the public other than doctors. So this is a very positive intervention, and hopefully other medical schools will see the move taken by Harvard Medical School and adopt this same kind of practice. So I acknowledge the support of the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Research in funding this work. I also am funded and work with the Yoga Alliance, which is one of the largest yoga organizations in the United States of yoga teachers. It has 90,000 members. And as part of our service, we have a website page, which is open access, which provides 23 different categories of citations of research on yoga. And this is to make it easier for yoga teachers to address and find the research literature on yoga. I am also supported by the Kundalini Research Institute, which supports my practice of yoga. And I come back to this logic model, this idea that the research is really critical for us to really continue moving this body of yoga practitioners from the general population into mainstream society. And one of the biggest challenges that we face in conducting research, in fact, the largest challenge we face in doing research is actually research funding. So I make an appeal to the organizations in society like Ayush here in India, like the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health in the United States, and to wealthy donors, affluent individuals who have experienced the benefits of yoga, to support research on yoga so that we can facilitate this transition from the grassroots level into mainstream society. And the goal here is to make yoga deeply embedded in our culture, to make something that is taught in all of our schools and practiced by everyone. And so I leave you with an embedded image. This is an embedded image of semi-precious stones into the marble walls of this very special place. That's the Hari Mandir Sahib, the Golden Temple in Amritsar. Thank you much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sat Bir Khalsa ji, for his elaborative research-based yoga therapy. Now I request Dr. Pratap Chauhan for his
Namaste, good afternoon everybody. How are you all? पीछे बहुत शोर हो रहा है, थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनना पड़ेगा अभी. Okay, so we had a very nice presentation about lifestyle disorders from Dr. Sat Bir Khalsa, giving the perspective of yoga. And I'm going to talk to you about the perspective of Ayurveda, which is of course like a twin science. Ayurveda and yoga both go together. But the word lifestyle or lifestyle disease is very common, very popular. We all talking about lifestyle disorders, but do we really know what is lifestyle? This is a very important question. Because when we say lifestyle, most people think of sleeping in proper time, waking up in the morning, doing some exercise, or just following some routine. But in Ayurveda, the word lifestyle goes more deeper than that. And if we want to just see what is the meaning of word life in Ayurveda. So it's a very clear definition. Those of you who are Ayurvedic students or Ayurvedic graduates, you definitely will understand that there is a very nice shloka in the first chapter of Charaka, Sharirendriya Sattvatma Sanyog. Life or Ayu is a combination of body, senses, mind and soul. So anything connecting to these four components is our lifestyle. It's not only just sleeping at 10 o'clock, waking up in the morning, early morning, Brahma Muhurta, drinking some water, going to the toilet and doing all those dinacharya things. But if something is not well at the mental level or at the sensual level or at the emotional level or at the spiritual level, that is also our lifestyle. And when we talk of, curing the diseases which are connected with lifestyle, we have to understand that the cause sometimes could be in the mind. And these days, of course, we have a lot of problems in the mind, especially the youth. We see a lot of problems now with technology. TikTok is the new word now, TikTok. So everybody is on TikTok, everybody is on WhatsApp, everybody is on Facebook. Our mind is completely agitated all the time. We don't know how to calm down the mind. And then we get many lectures, every morning somebody sends you something. This is how you should live, this is how you should eat. But most important is that you have to understand from Ayurvedic perspective that there are different types of lifestyle. In the definition of Ayurveda, they say, Hita hitam sukham dukkham ayustasya hitahitam. So you have to understand that we are not only attaining for sukh or health or happiness, we want to also be beneficial. Hit ayu is very, very important. If I am happy, this doesn't mean that I will be beneficial to others. I could be creating some things which are non-beneficial for others, which are non-beneficial for the society, for the environment, and this is what many people do. They only care for themselves. So in Ayurveda, if you look at this diagram, it's a very nice Hitayu and Ahitayu, Dukhayu and Sukhayu. This is a quadrant. There are people who might be in the first quadrant, this one, if I can, this only green light, so you can't see. Anyway, this one, the first one, a person may be doing beneficial things for others. There are many people I know who are a part of NGOs, but they are themselves not very healthy. So this is also not very well. The second one down, if you come, there are many people who are unhappy, they are not well, and they are making other people also unhappy. And the third one, there are people, they may be happy themselves, but creating problems for others. So we all want to move into the last quadrant where we are all healthy and we are doing things which are good for others. This is the message of Ayurveda, that we have to have not only Sukhayu but also Hitayu. This is a very important slide, you must understand. Now, what is the best lifestyle? If we want to just understand, it's not a rocket science. Anybody can understand what is the best lifestyle. Normally we say we should exercise every day, we should sleep in time, we should eat in time, we should have positive mind and emotions, we should have cordial relations. It's nothing very important. But what is the problem? The problem is that we are not able to do this. Every day we read these things, but we are not able to do this. There are problems. So we indulge in wrong lifestyle. In spite of knowing all this thing, that sleeping in time, waking up time, eating in proper time, having positive mind, बहुत ज्ञान बढ़ता है आजकल. Every day you see lot of messages on our WhatsApp, Facebook. Everybody is a preacher. But the challenge is we are not able to follow it. So who is that who inspires me to do wrong things? What part of me, this is a very important thing you have to understand, what part of me is that which is inspiring me to eat junk food, which is inspiring me to do something negative, which is inspiring me to create an imbalance in my body? So this is very important. what part of the human system is responsible for taking all these decisions. Because in Ayurveda we say if you don't understand the root cause of the problem, you cannot solve the problem. What people are doing now in lifestyle diseases, so majority of the people are talking about how do I stop my tablet, and I start taking Ayurvedic tablet. But that's not the solution. Replacing the allopathic tablet with an Ayurvedic tablet is not the solution of lifestyle diseases. A lifestyle disease is caused by wrong lifestyle. So I have to fix my lifestyle. And what is that faculty in this human system which is responsible for taking that wrong decision? That's what I need to understand. We'll find out whether it is mind or it is something else. Mind is just a servant actually. Somebody said it's mind, but mind is a servant. Mind is not the boss. There is a buddhi about the mind, intellect, which actually decides what is right and what is wrong. So let's go and see in Ayurveda. It's a very nice slide. Look at this. In Ayurveda, that the human being which we are treating is not just a body. It's a combination of 25 components. So there are 5 tanmatras, there are 5 elements. We all know there is 5 gyanendriyas, knowledge acquiring senses. There are 5 karmendriya. We all have a mind. Yes, everybody has a mind. Yes. We all have a buddhi, which is called intelligence. We all have an ego. Very, very important part. We have to understand ego. If you want to solve your lifestyle disorders, it is not going to happen just by eating the right food. Sometimes the ego is the main culprit. So we have to understand how to deal with ego. And of course, there is a very important part which is called the unconscious mind, which contains all the traumas that we pass through. Childhood trauma, adult age trauma, or even traumas from past life, previous life, which is now in the modern science, they are also studying it, the genes, the genetics, and the relation of genes with our lifestyle, epigenetics. It's a very new area and lot of studies is being done. But in Ayurveda, they all talk about this in a different terminology, of course. And all of you sitting here who are Ayurveda students or you are spiritual students, you must understand the terminology described in our Vedic books is not much different. We have to just relate it with the modern terminology. So this is the Chikitsa Purush, this is the person we are going to treat, and we are going to make this person healthy. What is health? This word is very wrongly understood in the modern context. So I would like to give you first a very simple definition which we all know. Samadosha, Samadhatu, Samaganishcha Malakriya. I'd like you to focus on the second line, Prasanna Atmendriya Mana. This is very, very important. If your doshas, dhatus, agni, everything is normal, this is not enough. You have to have a happy mind. Senses should be doing their job properly. Your atma should be prasanna. Your body, your soul should be also content. Then you are healthy. But let me make it more simple. It's a little complicated. Just the word swastha, which we normally translate as health, and as soon as we translate swastha into health, we lose the complete meaning of the word swastha. The word swastha, as you can see, can be broken into 2 parts, swa plus stha. This means to be situated in yourself. Very, very simple. If you can be situated in yourself, you are swastha. If you are not situated in yourself, you are aswastha. You are unhealthy, you are unhappy, you have a problem. It's not necessarily that you have cholesterol, diabetes or obesity. You could have a problem with your mind. You could have a problem with your ego. You could have a problem with your intellect. So all those things we have to understand. But the question is, where should I be situated? Who is this I and where this should be situated? I give you a very nice diagram here again. This is the whole model of the human system. If you look at the top, That's where I am situated. This is the place where Purusha or Atma or soul is located. Then you have the hard disk, which is the Chitta, which contains all the experiences. Even if you enjoy the nice food, if you eat some food and you enjoy it, that experience is stored in the Chitta and it becomes a samskara. It becomes a program that can activate anytime. Even in the middle of night, sometimes you wake up and the samskara for rasagulla or gulab jamun becomes active, or chocolate becomes active, and you want a chocolate. How to control this? This is also a lifestyle problem. This is a diet problem. So this is the whole model. We have intellect, buddhi, which can control the mind. Mind is not very difficult to control if my buddhi is working. And therefore in Ayurveda, when you see what is the root cause of diseases, it's not just vata pitta kapha. The first point they have mentioned is pragya paradha. Very nice word you must remember. Pragya means intellect. Aparadha means offense. Offending your intelligence. So many people in the world, they are offending their intelligence. That's why they have problems. I have seen many people, they take one tablet in the morning for hyperacidity. It is called an antacid. After 5 minutes, they drink a coffee or a tea. What is this? Pragya Parada. It's like you take a shower, you come out and you put dust on your body. This is what people do, you know. People have high blood pressure, one tablet every morning for what? To just suppress it. And then eat chilies and pickles and all the things that increase your blood pressure. Or keep your mind engaged in things that will increase your. So we have to understand in Ayurveda the role of buddhi is very, very important. This buddhi, ego of course is also very important. I'm not going to go in details. I'm just going to explain you that if you really want to solve this problem of lifestyle disorders, you have to understand this model. Like an aeroplane, you know, where is the pilot sitting in the aeroplane? He's sitting in the cockpit, top. And from cockpit, the pilot can control the whole plane. This is what is meant by swastha. If you want to drive a car, you have to be on the driver's seat. Many people today, they are trying to drive their car sitting on the back seat. So that's why stress, burnout. Now in India, Dr. Sat Bir said, India also is becoming burnout because we are also sitting on the back seat and trying to drive the car. It's very stressful. And many people, they're not even on the back seat. Many people are outside the car, just pushing the car from outside. We are hardly inside. Either we are on Facebook, we are on internet, we are inside the TV, we are inside somewhere. We are not inside this body. We are pushing it. So in India, normally people ask, how is life? So sometimes people literally say, just pushing it. Dhakka laga rahe hain, dhakel rahe hain. So this is literally means that we are not situated inside. So swastha is a very beautiful word. The takeaway from today, this talk is, you must meditate on this, how to be situated in your, then everything will fall in place, everything. Because this will tell you what to eat, what not to eat, when to sleep, because every person is unique. There is no general rule. In Ayurveda, we have different types of bodies, prakritis. Vata people, they need to sleep more. Kapha people don't need to sleep that much. Pitta people have different types of, needs. So this is very, very important to understand yourself. And finally, if the root cause of the lifestyle diseases, as I said, is lifestyle, why take a tablet? We should just fix the lifestyle. The goal is not to replace a tablet of allopathy with Ayurveda. The tablet is not the solution. Solution is to change to Ayurveda. So last couple of slides. Ayurveda, why Ayurveda? Because Ayurveda is a personalized treatment. Ayurveda understands each person as a unique personality. So if something works for me, if kurkuma works for me, haldi, It may not work for a person who is a Pitta. Maybe for a Pitta person, I need to find something else. So this is the oldest personalized medicine in the world. Today now, modern medicine is trying to find out ways to personalize medicine. We have a system which is going on for 5,000 years. Very well personalized. It focuses on lifestyle, and of course, it is a very, very preventive medical system. It is not only talking about treatment. Ayurveda is talking about how to prevent. Swasthasya swasthya rakshanam is the first goal of Ayurveda. So reasons for wrong lifestyle. Why don't we follow a proper lifestyle? I already told you, pragya parad, misuse of intelligence. How many of you have intelligence? Please raise your hands. Wow, everybody has intelligence. So you should not have a lifestyle disease, because you have an intelligence. And what is the function of intelligence? Discrimination. What is good for me, what is not good for me. So I should not be doing wrong things because I have an intelligence. But Ayurvedic rishis, they have told that we don't use intelligence. That's why we fall sick. Of course, the reason for not using intelligence is excess of rajas and tamas in the mind. When mind is agitated and mind is confused, the youth should listen to this. I have seen many people, they buy a new pair of jeans and then they tear it from many places. And then they are putting it on. They call it cool. The word cool is very popular today. Either cool or hot. But you should know that cool and hot is also coming from Ayurveda. Shita Virya and Ushna Virya. Two words are very popular in Ayurveda. So excess of rajas and tamas, agitated mind, low sattva. Low sattva is the cause of lifestyle disease. If you will not increase your sattva, you cannot fix your lifestyle disease just by sleeping in time or waking up time. Of course, negative emotions, a very big problem. Negative emotions, negative thoughts. I'm not going to elaborate, but I'm just mentioning the point. And I have put the last cause in big bold, avidya. Panchaklesha, you might have studied in yoga. In Panchaklesha, avidya is the biggest problem. And mind you, avidya does not mean no knowledge. Avidya means wrong knowledge. So people think what they're doing is right. They don't think that I don't know. Everybody knows. Everybody is full of knowledge. But what they know is wrong. This is the problem. So avidya, you have to solve the problem. And the last slide about the solutions. Solutions are very simple. Once you understand where is the root cause of the problem, you have to just change your food according to your prakriti. Prakriti is very important. Every person should know their body type. If you will put diesel in a petrol car, it's going to be not functioning properly. That's what we do every day. Of course, dinacharya, daily routine, ritucharya, increasing sattva. In Ayurveda, we also talk about the three supporting pillars. Ahara, Nidra, Brahmacharya, very, very important. Food, lifestyle and controlled sexual activities are very, very important parts. Positive emotions, positive thoughts, and a very beautiful word, I love this word, Sadvrit and Achara Rasayana. You must try to understand these things. If you can follow Sadvrit, good moral behavior, good physical behavior, good mental behavior, and Achara Rasayana. Achar means what you are practicing, We have the word in Ayurveda Charya, Yoga Charya. Who is an Acharya? An Acharya is one who is doing the Acharan, one who practices Ayurveda. Now many Ayurvedic doctors I know, they don't practice Ayurveda, they are practicing allopathy. Even their food is not Ayurvedic. Even their lifestyle is not. So you cannot call them Ayurveda Charya. So you have to follow Acharan. And finally Vidya, a nice shloka again from Bhagavad Gita. Nahi jnanen sadrisham pavitramaya vidyate. There is nothing as purifying as knowledge. So if you want to clean your body, if you want to clean your mind, lot of people go for detox now. Detox is a very popular word. The best detox medicine is knowledge. Vidya is the best detox. If you want to lose weight, you don't need a keto diet. You need Vidya. You need knowledge. Because once you know about yourself, once you get situated in yourself, rest is just a story. It's just very simple. So thank you very much for your time. This is what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pratap Chauhan ji. Now I request Madam Dr. R. Nagarathna. She doesn't require any introduction. Thank you.
Namaste, good afternoon to all of you. Let us start with one Om. I want to hear whose Om is the longest. Okay? Take a deep breath, start. Om. Come on, ladies, come on, longer, longer, longer. Wow, whose is that? Ladies' voice, who was that? Raise your hand. Okay, we'll give her a big clap. Okay. With pranams to the chair and all the great masters who are sitting in the front row, and my dear children, students who are so keen to learn. Today students don't sit in a class more than, what is the attention span of students today? Not more than 18 minutes. So I'm very happy that our students are so keen to listen to these masters, and what we hope to do is to see how yoga can be useful in metabolic disorders. Okay, my topic is yoga for metabolic disorders. Welcome all of you to the wonderful abode of peace, Prashanti Kutiram, the home of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Research Foundation. Metabolic disorders had to be coined a few years ago, because if you call somebody as having diabetes, it wouldn't come out as a single disease. So, diabetes has many friends, obesity has many friends, high cholesterol has many friends, high blood pressure has many friends. So, the scientists decided we'll put them all together in one disease and call them as metabolic syndrome, which includes all those 4 diseases. And what I wish to understand, all of you know, as you have been hearing in the last 2 talks, that they are all traceable to lifestyle. Beautifully, Pratap ji and Sat Bir ji talked about this lifestyle, which is the root cause. Lifestyle leading to obesity seems to be the first step physical abnormality we see in people with metabolic syndrome, and we know that metabolic syndrome is very much related to the mind. And as Dr. Chidananda Murthy was mentioning, this is very much traceable to the imbalance which has been created by our lifestyle, and very beautifully the sages have told us that this imbalance which is created is very much traceable to. There is a beautiful statement by Bhartruhari, who said, Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunancha, Samanyam etat pashubhi naranam. We have common things between man and animal. That is eating, sleeping, fear or living, instinct to live, and procreative instinct. These are common. But what is the speciality of human evolution? We have grown from animal species to human species by developing buddhirhi tesham adhiko visheshaha, dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. We know to master this, as beautifully Pratap ji was mentioning, about controlling, mastering, discriminating for better living, for better lifestyle, is the principle which the human system has evolved, but we have not yet become proper full-time humans. We have a monkey mind, we all have two minds. The higher mind, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and the monkey mind, the lower mind, instinctual mind, the animal mind, which we still have to develop a little more. And therefore, we need something more than just knowing that I have to change my lifestyle. What we have all been hearing is that we should live a very healthy lifestyle, very good lifestyle, our diet should change, our exercise should be good, etc., etc., etc. But why are these diseases are on the increase? Diabetes, 1 in 5 in our India are diabetic. 1 in 3 in our country are hypertensive. And the highest number of heart attacks are happening in India. And high cholesterol. We have become very prone for particularly high triglycerides in our system. What is the reason? The reason is our mind. Therefore, the sages said, learning to handle the mind is the most important thing. And janami dharmam, janami adharmam, nachame pravrittihi, nachame nivrittihi. Who said this? Duryodhana. Duryodhana says, I know what is right, I know what is wrong, but I don't know how to control my adharma behavior. My monkey mind is stronger than my good mind. This is the problem. Therefore, unless we train people in mind management, which is yoga, it is going to be a big problem. It was almost 20 years, 15 years ago, 2005, when they first published a paper on diabetes prevention program in America, where they showed that one group of people who did walking and diet compared to those who took only 1 tablet of metformin to prevent them from getting diabetes, and they showed that walking and diet group was better than the tablet group. Followed up for 10 years, same results. What is this? Therefore, it's very important for us to know that diabetes is a disease. Therefore, we need to really work on the mind is the whole of the principle of what we need to do, and that is the definition of yoga. I'll start with an example. I had a lady I had a gentleman who comes from Rajasthan, and he comes and gives a very specific question. See, madam, I have got diabetes. I have been insulin for 7 years. I go to my consultant in Boston, in Jocelyn, in Boston, international business. I know all about lifestyle. I control my diet, I control my regular physical activity, I even do Surya Namaskaras regularly, I do my regular spiritual practices, and I have absolutely no bad habits out of the 4 things in lifestyle. The diet, lack of physical activity, bad habits, and mental emotional tension. But why is my insulin going on increasing, and why have I not been able to get out of my insulin? My doctor says that that's the end of the story, because your pancreas is not working. You have had diabetes for more than 15 years, therefore you have to be on insulin. He comes to the campus, does integrated yoga program, and within about 6 weeks, slowly tapered off his insulin, and he is now 5 years running, no insulin, tablet has come down to almost 0, and he is able to manage. I asked him this question, tell me sir, you have been doing yoga before, now also we have learnt integrated yoga here, what is the difference? He says, just the definition of mind, definition of stress, which I understood from sage Vasishtha, has made all the difference. What is the difference? Sage Vasishtha asks us a simple question. You are stressed out, your mind is not coming under control, you are working very hard, you have got tension or worry or depression or agitation or frustration, please check your mind. Giving an example, many young faces I am seeing here, you have got examination anxiety, socho. I know of one girl who had enormous amount of examination anxiety, very smart girl, very capable, very hardworking, very intelligent. Outside the exam hall, she is helping all her friends. Hey, ये question आने से क्या बोलना, वो question में क्या answer बोलना. She knows all the answers. But she enters into the examination hall, blank paper.
Please keep silence, students.
Anxiety.
Thank you.
What is the cause? What happened in her mind when she says that she is very anxious is the introspective question that the sage is asking you. What is happening in her mind? Mind is saying, my God, important interview, how I wish I do very well, what if I don't do very well? Just three sentences, they have picked up enormous speed. And it is the speed in the mind which is creating all the problem, is what the sage is telling us. Uncontrolled, speeded up, rewinding of sentences in the mind is the whole of the problem. In all our stressfully challenging situations of life, we go through this emotions. All stresses are nothing but negative emotions of mankind. And in these emotions, there is one common factor, that is uncontrolled speed of the mind. Violent speed, kya hoga, exam, kya hoga, exam, what will I do? Will I be able to do very well or not? What if I don't do very well? That mind rewinding with violent speed is the whole of the problem. Therefore, this is beautifully portrayed in Bhagavad Gita by this wonderful shloka, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha Buddhinashat Pranashyati. How the mind builds up that speed. You think of an object, I want it, I can't live without it, if I am refused of that object, I enter into anger, fear, tension, depression, agitation, frustration, sleeplessness, starts disturbing my breathing, starts disturbing my prana activity, and then starts disturbing the whole of the system. And therefore, what is the next important understanding that the sage is giving us is this uncontrolled, speeded up rewinding of mind percolates into the body by too much of pranic activity, settles down in the body as violence. Mind vega, prana vega, annamaya kosha vega. Violence at the body level. Locked up excessive pranic activity is the cause for inflammation. What is diabetes? Inflammation. What is obesity? Inflammation. What is cholesterol problem? Inflammation. What is atherosclerosis in cardiac problem? Inflammation. What is hypertension? Spasm of the arterioles. Everything is violent speed at the body level. Uncontrolled, it has got locked up there. Therefore, the whole of the solution, therefore, is to work on the mind and to what is the thing? Vega, 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 speed, 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 reduce the speed at all levels. So, reduction of the speed at all levels, which Dr. Murthy ji beautifully brought out, rest the system, then the whole system will be corrected. Therefore, the entire solution of yoga therapy is rest, relax, rest, relax, rest, relax. So, instant relaxation technique, quick relaxation technique, deep relaxation technique, cyclic meditation, Om meditation are very, very important component of the whole thing. So, what was the first thing when there was Vega? Sleep got disturbed. Therefore, better sleep is the first thing. Deeper sleep is what yoga can give us. If somebody sleeps for 6 hours, we get about 10% rest. If he does Shavasana for 12 minutes, we get about 12% rest. If you do cyclic meditation, Avartana Dhyana, you get about 32% rest. So therefore, the entire solution of yoga as defined by Patanjali is M. What is M? Mastery over the monkey mind is yoga. What is the monkeying the mind doing? Pulls me into anger, fear, worry, tension, depression, excitement, long-standing chronic frustration and presentation, and therefore these are all the techniques. Therefore, in whether we want to reduce obesity, better control over diet, better control over laziness to do exercise, better control over bad habits, better control over the stress management, we need techniques. See, up to now, all that we have understood is medical science very clearly has proven that lifestyle, what happens in the mind, what happens in the nervous system, what are the chemicals that are released, which chemical does what type of changes in the heart, what changes happen in the obese, all that we heard about the leptin, etc., lot of research data. But what we do not know is what are the techniques, mind management techniques. Therefore, starting from healthy diet, we need to move on to a very, very healthy lifestyle. So, what the sage wants us to tell us is regular yoga practices, which includes not only physical activity to spend away the energy, but lot of relaxation component is very important. Therefore, what is the exercise program that is recommended for diabetic? We have to create a gradient by spending away the calories and work on ourselves. And therefore, what is the amount of recommended exercise for diabetics or obese people? Energy expenditure, or about 30 minutes of walking every day is what has been working. What is the extra role of yoga? Even after you do exercise, if the diabetes is not coming under control, as happened in this gentleman who tells me I've been doing exercise, but I'm not able to come out of insulin. The extra role is that mind management. And therefore, it is very clearly shown that if we are doing only exertional exercises, it not only is not sufficient, but it may increase the blood pressure also. Therefore, managing the mind is very, very important, and therefore, working on all these areas is very, very important. And therefore, when we teach them asanas, specific asanas, specifically designed to reduce the fat on the abdomen, we need to encourage them to go into their deep internal awareness and see that they focus their mind on the sick part of the body and give very deep conscious rest to the sick part. And that is what is the rule of doing a physical activity, unlike exercise. And kriyas, which are specifically useful, Uddiyana, Agnisara, Nauli, etc., have all been suggested. In diabetes, you can see that these 3 specific asanas have been mentioned in all the texts. The reason is, when you stretch in that particular area, mind can go and sit on the sick part and reduce the inflammation. That is the whole of the reason why we have to work on that. We cannot heal a person if you just do a physical activity. I know of a man who comes to us and says, Madam, I have been doing all the asana pranayama, but my diabetes or obesity is not coming down. I asked him, oh, how do you do asana? He demonstrated very beautifully. But why he is not improving? I asked him, what is your mind doing when you are doing your yoga? He says, I watch my TV and finish doing my asana. I said, oh, wonderful. Ramdev Baba comes in the morning every day at 5:30. You must be watching Baba and saluting and doing, no ma'am, I watch my news and finish my asanas. If a person cannot put the mind deep into the body area which is being stretched, then that is not yoga at all. So therefore, these are all the practices we have to promote in yogic practices that we work on. And one of the very important practices that is to be taught is not only asana, pranayama, meditation. We conducted a very big program through Indian Yoga Association around the country in remote villages, remote towns, where everybody consistently mentioned that cyclic meditation was the most useful practice, and therefore the most important thing I want to mention is that silence inside is the whole of the summary of what we should be doing for mind management in yoga therapy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nagarathna ji, very much. Now I request Dr. Suyash Raj Shivam to give us a brief talk. Now, it's a long time, so I request him to make it 6-7 minutes. Okay. Please start.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Shri Shri Guruve Namaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. नमस्कार. मंच पे बैठे महानुभाव, मेरे गुरुजन, इस सभा में सब बैठे मेरे बड़ों को मेरा सादर प्रणाम. A very good afternoon, my dear friends, sisters and brothers. I'm very grateful to have been given this opportunity to speak before you on this very auspicious day of Ekadashi as well as Dvadashi of this very beautiful month of Kartik. I am proud to have been born in this land which has given us the Vedas. As we know, there are 4 Ved, Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved and Atharvaved. In the Yajurved, we have the Krishna and Shukla Paksh. In the Krishna Paksh, we have the Taittiriya Upanishad, which very brilliantly explains the definition of yuva. The definition is like this. Yuva syat sadhu yuva adhyayakah ashishto dririshto balishta. It means that the youth is one who is well versed, who is modest, who is strong, who is enthusiastic. And you know, sadhu comes from the Sanskrit root sad, which means to take control over or to overcome. Another word which has come from sad is sadhana, which means spiritual practice. Now when we come to adhyayaka, it is not just information, it is the analysis of knowledge. Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest sons of this country, once remarked that education, if it was identical to information, then the libraries would be the greatest saints and the rishis would be the encyclopedias. But our job is not to just fill up our minds. Our job is to kindle our intellect. Now, why I speak here as a representative of the youth, I want to show some statistics to show how the youth are so important in the world today. If we look at the definition of youth in contemporary terms, the United Nations has said that 15 to 24 years is the definition for youth. The government of India follows a different system because of convenience and for a better analysis of trends. Now, when you look at the youth population, over 60% are in Asia and 6 out of 7 are in the developing world. When you look at the Indian pie, India is the second most populous country in the world, and we have over 400 million of youth as of 2011. When you look at the future, we are all aware that India will become the most populous country in the world, and there will be 1.4 billion youth. 1 out of 3 will be in Africa. We sure have challenging times ahead in terms of education, employment, and most importantly, our health, particularly mental health. In fact, in 2018, World Mental Health Day was celebrated on 10th of October with the theme, Young People and Mental Health in a Changing World. Now, I would like to show you something to show what is the most central part of our lives which is dragging us down. It is a 2-minute video. So, if I were to say which is the single biggest disorder in this world, we could say it is greed. And this is not a new thing. We have always grown up listening to things like, Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh. The Bhagavad Gita says it, our Shad-darshan say it. So greed is not new. But if we look at our childhood, the phase before the youth phase, we see that we were not so greedy. Our basic behavior, in fact, if I were to say it in one word, was to give. Right? But then we grew up and we were taught to be selfish, to not share our things. But tell me one thing, what all can you take away from this earth? You can't even take your body away. You will have to give it up one day. So the only way to live in this world is to give. And then only will you get. So this is the value that we need to teach today. And apart from this, I will talk about two more values before I rest my case. First is Sanyam. Sanyam is moderation. The world has seen unprecedented extremism at all levels, be it at our individual levels, the way we live, at societal level, even at the international level. You would be surprised to know that there have been very few phases in history where people have not fought wars. So that is why Sanyam is necessary. The second aspect is Samvaad. Samvaad means effective communication. Because what we want to say and what comes out of our mouth and what we think and what we convey are two very different things. So if we learned the art of effective communication, then a lot of problems in this world can be solved. Now, Samvaad does not need some very difficult study. If you look at our ancient tradition, if you look at our Gurukul system of education, which was holistic, which gave us strength of character, which taught us the value of equality, taught us that our job in this world is not to get, but to give, to serve, then we don't have to look anywhere else. So with this, I would like to conclude by quoting the Shanti Mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad. I would like all of you to say it along with me. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And before I go, I would just like to clarify that I'm not a doctor yet. I'm still in my final years of masters. And yes, I do aspire to be a doctor one day. And few years again, as a legitimate Dr. Suyash Raj Shivam, I would love to address you all again. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, young youth, Suresh. Okay, now I request Dr. G.H. Naveen to deliver his lecture.
Good afternoon to each and everyone who are present over here, respected chairperson and distinguished speakers on the dais. I'm thankful to the...
Sorry for the interruption. May I take this opportunity to invite on guest Dr. Gulab Tewani. He is a graduate from SDM College of Naturopathy and Yoga. And in this very young age, an experience of 10 years, he is working as a Chief Medical Officer at Sant Hirdaram Yoga and Naturopathy Center at Bhopal. So, welcome Dr. Gulab. Sorry sir, please.
I have just 10 minutes time. I want to follow my joint guide, Dr. Nagarathna, but because of lack of time, Homkara I am not going to say to all of you to chant. In fact, I'm going to present before you evidence-based yoga therapy in psychiatric disorders, particularly major depressive disorder. So I'm not going to talk about that to cut short wherever it is possible. We all know utilization of complementary and alternative system of medicine. In that, naturopathy and yoga, which is a major part of that, which has been utilized across the globe. Particularly if we talk about in Europe, more than 3 lakh registered camp providers who have been treating the patients. Nearly all of them in India have been practicing yoga in one or the other way. At least prayer we have been practicing, right? We are praying to the God. So you understood with the previous distinguished speaker about what is lifestyle, and also Dr. Nagarathna, Madam has elaborated on health aspects. You all know what is complete health, what is optimum health. Mental health also very, very important. What Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. We need to identify our potentiality. Each one of us cannot become doctors or engineers or lawyers or stalwarts in the field. But we have to identify the potentiality. We have to work accordingly. We have to identify the potentiality within us. And we have to work productively and fruitfully. At least in one or the way, we should be in a position to contribute to the society. And more larger extent, what is more important, we should be in a position to cope up with the day-to-day stressors we have been coming across. What Delhi has been fighting with at present. Very much poor quality, air quality index. That is also one of the stressor. Maybe traffic or many other, the modern world, the industrialization, we have been coming across a lot of stresses. We should be in a position to cope up with the day-to-day stressors. That is very important, which has been very well portrayed by our previous speaker, Professor Sat Bir Singh Khalsa, sir. So, if you could see the previous slogans on Mental Health Day, World Mental Health Day in 2012, that is a global crisis. This depression is a global crisis. Theme of the World Health Day, 7th April, is depression. Let's talk. So what we all do, we don't talk to each other. If we stay in apartment, the next neighboring person won't be knowing whether we are in that particular residence. This is the problem. So we think about standard. With that standard, we are losing our mental health. For example, the study was conducted in NIMHANS, where they could see those who stay in joint nuclear family, they had higher level of prevalence and incidence of anxiety and depression when compared to those who stayed in joint family. This is our Indian culture, right? So most of us, 100 years before, used to stay in joint family. We should talk to each other. Even when we come back from home, we should talk to each other, so that reduces our anxiety and depression levels. Of course, we used to have the optimum mental health. Now the scenario has been changed. We prefer to have privacy. I don't know what is privacy. Yeah, of course, privacy is required, but not always. We need to have the family members. We need to have intercommunication skills, interpersonal relationships. That is very, very important to maintain the optimum health of an individual. So one of the very important study which was conducted in NIMHANS in 2012, where they could ask healthy participants to chant Om. So when they chanted Om, when they compared with the controls, those who could chant just S, that is the control which they chanted, we could see the deactivation of some of the limbic areas. More particularly, thalami, anterior cingulum, amygdala, insula, hippocampi and parahippocampi. In this, more importantly, what is insula? Insula is very important for enhancing our bodily awareness. That is possible with the practice of yoga. At the same time, hippocampi and parahippocampi, which is very important for memory consolidation. And amygdala, which is very important for fear conditioning. So yoga plays a role in regulating the fear. So in the control arm, they could see there's no change. So another study which is a path breaking in psychiatric disorders, where they could see GABA levels, particularly GABA levels, which will be very less in patients with anxiety and depression. After the practice of yoga, in healthy volunteers, they could see the elevation of GABA levels. After that, there was some study was conducted from Streeter et al. On depression patients as well. Among depression patients as well, they could see elevation in GABA levels after the yoga practice. I don't remember whether it is 1 month yoga practice or 3 months yoga practice. I think 2 months or 3 months yoga practice. So what is neuroplasticity is very, very important. Many of us think psychiatric disorders is main cause is imbalance in chemicals, what we call neurotransmitters. It may be serotonin, it may be dopamine, it may be melatonin, or it may be acetylcholine. Okay? So, endorphin. But recently, for the past 2 decades, so much evidence has been gathered, they could see something beyond. Because whatever serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or dopamine reuptake inhibitors, or serotonin and dopamine combined some drugs, all of which if they take, the remission rate has not been achieved much. Almost 30 to 40%, they are not becoming better even after 6 months or 1 year. I could see in NIMHANS, where I did my PhD. So many patients, they have been coming to the OPD or IPD center, they get admitted. The treatment has been taken for long duration, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. What could be the reason? We are not going with integrated approach, that is, which is lacking in the medical field, which is very, very important. And what is neuroplasticity? Earlier, 30 years before, we thought our brain doesn't develop after a certain period of our age, period of time. Of course, our brain develops, provided you maintain proper lifestyle, which has been dealt by our previous speaker, Dr. Pratap Chauhan. So lifestyle is very, very important. So what is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is nothing but ability of our brain to change as a result of experience. What are those experiences? Nutrition and diet, which is very, very important. Recently, so much research has been breakthrough research, and the area for research, what we call nutritional neuroscience, which has been emerging now, emerging field. So nutrition and diet plays a very, very important role in psychiatric disorders. I'm going to talk to you about that. And environmental stimulation, maybe the interpersonal relations or pollution or any other factors which are involved. The social contacts, how we are socially well with the people around and with the family makes so much difference. Social resilience, exercise, yoga and other factors as well. All these which contributes the brain changes. It could be the changes in neuronal cells or synaptic transmission or synaptic consolidation between signaling. Okay, so many other factors, glial cells, etc. So exercise has been shown to improve major brain growth factor, brain neuronutrient factor after the practice of exercise. And meditation also has shown to increase cortical thickness in prefrontal cortex and right anterior insula. Once again, insula is very important to improve our awareness, which is to do with the awareness, bodily awareness, mental awareness. You could see in this picture, Lazar and et al., they had this breakthrough research in neuroplasticity, where they could see, they are followed up with long-term meditators, they could see increase in cortical thickness, particularly in prefrontal area, after the practice of meditation. I think more than 6 months of yoga practice. So what is more important in psychiatric disorders? So we need to concentrate on all these disturbances which happens in mentally ill patient. It affects the thinking, it affects the perception, behavior, signaling, emotion and physical changes. So depression is very, very important, which is expected to be the second leading illness in the world by 2020 according to WHO estimation. So current treatment of depression, we have anti-psychiatric medications as well as psychotherapy. But still, remission rate is too high, more than 40%. So it is a need to integrate yoga, naturopathy and Ayurveda with the mainstream of medicine. Unfortunately, we have been trying to incorporate, but it is not holistic. So when patient will come, we have given permission for them. You have to choose either allopathy or yoga and naturopathy or Ayurveda. It is not going to fulfill. We cannot give the optimum health. So even it has plenty of side effects and poor control and side effects, and you tend to get worse with multiple episodes. So mainly these two pathways which are involved in the pathophysiology of depression, majorly which we should concentrate on cortical and limbic dysfunction, particularly when prefrontal areas which are not able to regulate the changes which happens with our emotions. It may be fear, or it may be anxiety, or it may be sad mood. So that gives rise to problem. So what is normal mood and abnormal mood, you can find out from here. So different clinical features which is there in depression, sad mood, or anhedonia. Earlier they used to enjoy, probably with some sports. When they get depressed, they cannot enjoy even that. Earlier they used to feel happy by talking to others. Now they are not in a position to talk to others. They don't enjoy. So many aspects, thinking, cognition, behavior and physical changes happens here. And yoga plays a very important role. As Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa sir said, yoga is very important for mental health. So to reduce the stress, mainly what research evidence which generated, which help the person to elicit relaxation response. Resilience can be enhanced with yoga practice. So all these features are very, very important, where only yoga can give that optimum benefits. Do you know mindfulness-based meditation practice? It has been taken from yoga. What is mindfulness? It is just what the body awareness, breath awareness, what kind of sensation which we have. So all those things what we call is the mindfulness. So we need to deal with the stress and neuroplastic changes. So more importantly, in depression patients, brain-derived neurotrophic factor will be very, very less. That is one of the main pathophysiological factor in the major depressive disorder. So what we could see with yoga practice, even cortisol levels also will be more in patients with depression. So the study was conducted in NIMHANS. We developed yoga module for major depressive disorder, which has been lacking in majority of the medical conditions. I am thankful to Dr. Nagarathna, who has been a great source of inspiration during the course of my PhD study. So we could develop the yoga module where we could develop it and send to different experts in the field of yoga. And we came to know that back bending postures and slow breathing exercises, fast breathing exercises, inverted postures, and loosening exercises, which are very, very important for patients with the major depressive disorder. So there was a study profile where we had 3 groups. One is yoga alone, and yoga plus medication, and medication alone. So we could see those who... so anyway, I will just go what results which we got. Those who practiced yoga in the larger sample size, we could see those who were in yoga plus medication arm, we could see reduction in depression scores, and also BDNF level was increased. But when we checked with those who practice regularly yoga, so surprisingly, those who practiced only yoga, they had a better result after the practice of 3 months yoga. Those who practice regularly, after 90 days, those who practice for more than 50, which we took it as regular yoga practice. So what we found there, the reduction in depression levels also happened. At the same time, brain-derived neurotrophic factor levels have been increased. At the same time, serum cortisol levels have been reduced, which supposed to be increased in patients with depression. And a very interesting aspect is there was a correlation between the reduction in depression scores and elevation in BDNF levels, which is very, very important. As the depression scores goes down, even the neuroplastic changes in the brain tend to change. That is what it talks about. And so you could see here cortisol levels. And when we look at the correlation between cortisol and BDNF levels, in patients with those who practiced yoga for 3 months, there was elevation in BDNF levels and reduction in cortisol levels. So even we could see neuropsychological functions in patients with depression, where you could see those who practice yoga, we assessed with digit span forward and backward, and ray auditory verbal learning test, and also trail making A and B. So these are all tests very, very important for attention, psychomotor speed, and executive functions. We could see improvement in neuropsychological parameters in yoga groups. Particularly, it is more evident those who practice yoga, only yoga, for more than 3 months duration. Probably the reason could be those who were in yoga arm, they were more educated. And moreover, it is not a randomized control trial. We started with randomized control trial, but eventually we ended up with comparative trial, where we matched age, sex, and education between 3 groups. And that could be the reason why yoga alone group had better changes. So you could see some MRS changes as well. So I'm not going to talk about that. And main mechanisms which are involved in depression. Yoga helps to regulate hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis, and changes in autonomic nervous system, particularly increases parasympathetic nervous system predominance. Stimulation of vagus nerve, which commonly takes place when we practice many breathing exercises in yoga practices. Regulating the neurotransmitters, which I talked about, and reduction in pro-inflammatory cytokines, because most of the medical conditions where inflammation is the root cause, and improve emotional regulation. That is very, very important, where resilience plays a very important role, as per previous speaker talked about. And yoga reduces rumination. So continuous thoughts which come to our mind, yoga reduces that. And reduction in oxidative stress and inflammation. So probiotics plays a very important role. Just I want to touch upon the nutrition aspect here. So there is a huge connection between the gut and the brain. So gut has the capacity to produce the neurotransmitters. So each healthy bacteria has the role to produce neurotransmitters. It may be serotonin, it may be dopamine, or it may be acetylcholine. Okay? So we should be GABA as well. So healthy gut plays a very important role in the pathophysiology of depression or any other psychiatric disorders. So it naturally talks about the constipation is one of the main reasons, indigestion is one of the main reasons. So with this evidence we can understand probiotics is very, very important. It can be made with natural probiotics. Okay, also now medicines are available like VSL3 or Vibact or Bifalac. So all these drugs could be given as part of the naturopathic medicine. So take home message, yoga practices enhances positive mental health. Good evidence for yoga therapy in depression as an adjuvant therapy.
Naveen, could you please conclude?
Yeah, I'm concluding it. Yeah. Yoga practices enhances serum BDNF levels and reduce cortisol levels and improve neuropsychological functions. Yoga may be beneficial in comorbid conditions associated with depression. Yoga as a lifestyle may provide better results than yoga therapy module. Methodological issues in yoga research and training, which is posing a great challenge, like double blinding, we cannot do it. And placebo arm pose a great challenge, only single blinding can be done. And with respect to naturopathic treatment, St. John Wort herbal supplement, which has been shown to improve, and N-adenosine, that also plays a very important role in depression, and omega-3 fatty acids, derivative of tryptophan, derivatives, probiotics and exercise are useful CAM treatment modalities in depression. So I thank my guide, Dr. B.N. Gangadhar, President Director of NIMHANS, my co-guides, publications with in yoga and depression. Book has been published. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Naveen. Now I request Dr. Gulab Tewani from Bhopal. Six minutes, please. Otherwise, your students are sleeping there. Okay. Make laughing.
Are you able to hear me? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Are you sleeping? Wake up! Clap yourself. Clap, clap. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Not for others, for yourself. It's the lifestyle what I'm going to talk about. So first you have to adopt your lifestyle. You all are being sedentary. How we are going to convert to the healthy lifestyle? So just clap yourself and be activated. As Dr. Pratap sir told in starting, it's the acharan. Lifestyle is nothing but it's the acharan. So, until and unless you are adopting, you are performing in your life, people see, observe and adopt. That is what lifestyle is. So if we will talk about lifestyle, these are the following disorders which is due to, mainly causes due to the unhealthy lifestyle with wrong food habits, with wrong food habits, negative thoughts, negative thinking. These are the commonest causes. But the young population is getting affected through the lifestyle disorders nowadays. Why? What is the commonest lifestyle cause, you can say, which the youngsters are more prone to get sedentary lifestyle than the healthy lifestyle? Is the mobile phone. Yes? Yes, the use of mobile phone. It's going to affect your physical activity. Why? Because continuously you will be observing. Even I am seeing the students sitting back, they are just observing the mobile, not listening. So that sensory sedation is also taking place. Am I right or wrong? So if you will talk about lack of physical activity, that also contributes to the lifestyle disorder. And WHO has reported that out of 57 million deaths, 37 millions are due to non-communicable diseases, which more contributes for the lifestyle disorders. So as we have seen, obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, metabolic syndrome, cancer, these all are due to the lifestyle. If we will go further, obesity, 155 million people are obese. It is the second, India is the second largest country where 155 million people are obese. And if you will talk about it, is the fifth leading cause of death. Fifth leading cause. If you will talk about diabetes mellitus, as the International Diabetes Federation, it has been given the reports that India is being an capital, diabetic capital. 69.1 million people are being affecting with the diabetes mellitus. Hypertension. So if you will talk about hypertension, it is directly responsible, 57% of cases are directly responsible towards the coronary heart disease and the stroke deaths. Whereas, if you will talk about coronary heart disease, it is the leading first rank in India, where the 50 million people are suffering only through the coronary heart disease. Now what we need to do? We need to understand these causes. I'm not going to explain these causes. Why? Because we all are aware about these causes. Are we? Yes or no? Are we? Are we? Yes, awake. I'm just going to tell you the process by which these sedentary lifestyles we are adopting and we are leading to ourselves towards the disease. John H. Tilden in 1974, he has just given the process how the disease is occurring into the toxemia. Under the book called as the toxemia, the basic cause of disease, in which he has explained the process, how diseases are occurring. It starts from stress leading to the environmental and habits, daily habits, strain, depletion of nerve energy, immune power, later on retention of the waste products in the body due to insufficient elimination. Only one basic thing you can tell me. If there is a garbage in this hall, what you are going to do? Are you going to sit with the garbage or you are going to clean? Are you going to sit or clean? why don't we clean? Why don't we clean ourselves? So it's the process where the toxemia can lead to the cause, and basically this toxemia is occurring due to the wrong food habits. Wrong combination of food leads to acid fermentation, leads to irritation, inflammation, and furthermore destruction. This is the process of causing disease. This is the condition of gut. GI, you can see the healthy GIT, and you can see the unhealthy gut. And if you will see, God has given the system of healing within us. It is not the outside what you take that heals, it is what within which heals. So you are just going to change the lifestyle, and your system of healing is going to get activated by doing fasting or very little eating, calorie restriction, or just rest, adopting the healthy habits, and this applies to heal yourself. Body heals itself. And what I am going to present in front of you, it's just the detox yourself in just 10 days and get rid of these things. Now what you need to do for detox? We have practically experimented in our hospital. We are registering 10 days detox camp where everybody, all the patients, they are coming there, adopting the 10 days lifestyle change. We are giving naturopathy module to them, including of fasting, including of juices, including of healthy diet, and we are just going to restrict the calories so that body can start healing process by itself. And this is what the first day and 10th day we are doing it. In this we have also focused for all the levels, physical level, mental level, and physiological level. So that is what first and 10th day we are giving. Second and 9th day, we are coming from boiled diet to raw diet, from raw diet to the fruit diet, and from fruit diet we are going towards the juice diet. As the Dr. Yoshinori you have heard about, he has given about the autophagy, that the self-healing mechanism take place in the body, it's the self-cleansing. So the same process in naturopathy module we are implementing, and we are giving it. Moreover, what is more important is the knowledge what you have, or that knowledge should get executed in the practice. What is more important? The knowledge which you have, it should be remain as a knowledge, or it should get executed in your practice. It's more important it should execute in your practice. How it can be executed in your practice? These are the case reports which we are documenting. Each cases we are documenting, pre and post data we are collecting, and we are finding out the good results. And from 2 years we are doing this activity and collecting the data. Once the data, number of patients will be sufficient, we will be able to publish the paper also. We are working on it. This is the highlights what we are doing at detox camp. It's just the it's not only the cleansing from outside. You take bath every day, you brush your teeth. Yes. But what about the internal cleaning? What about the internal cleaning? So internal cleaning will be provided only and only through naturopathy, by initiating the natural healing mechanism which is there within the body. You need not to bring it from outside. Just you need to activate by restricting your calories. And this is what the activities we are giving them. These are the upcoming camps in our campus. Moreover, one more thing I'll tell you. What we have done in Bhopal, natural food diet supplementation program we have started as a midday meal concept through the Ayuryog health products. We are running 5 juice centers in various schools locations where the students are consuming juices and sprouts and boiled vegetables and even the fruits. So it is the cultivating the habit. It's not blaming that pizza is not good, junk food is not good, fatty food is not good. Give the option. What option you are giving it to the children? If you are giving the option, students will consume the healthy food, they will not consume the fatty foods. But though we are not having the options, and this is what we have initiated, we are providing through the juice centers. Now every day we are almost giving to all the students, 5,000 students every day we are providing juices. 8,000 students we are providing sprouts. And I am happy to share 16,000 students are consuming fruits as a midday meal in their schools through our juice centers. So this is what we have to execute it. We have to inculcate this habit. And we will be only able to inculcate when you are having faith that yes, my kid, my children will consume only natural food if I am making and giving it. For example, I'll give you just one single example. If your kid want to eat papaya, are you going to cut full papaya and give it to him? No. That much time is not there. Lifestyle is so busy. Then we will tell that you need to have natural food. How? When you are not preparing it. Now Zomato, Swiggy, everything has come in existence. Why? Because you don't have time. So they have time, they are working on mobile, they are ordering the food, fatty foods and eating it. Provide the option, alternative option, they will convert their lifestyle from sedentary to the healthy. This is what I will conclude with. You need to choose for your kids and even yourself. What you need to do? You need to go for the healthy lifestyle or sedentary lifestyle. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gulab Tewani, for dynamic lecture. Hope now there is no time for question and answer. Hope you have all understood. Anything is there, you can ask us, any one of us in the personally. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Now, may I request Sri Sant Manuji, IAS, Joint Secretary in Development, Commissioner Handicraft, Government of India, to come on the stage to facilitate our guest speakers. And I request Dr. BTC Murthy sir to join him to facilitate our guest speakers. Yeah, Dr. Sat Bir Singh Khalsa ji. Dr. Pratap Chauhan. Dr. R. Nagarathna ma'am. Dr. Naveen G.H. Dr. Naveen G.H. Dr. Suyash Raj Shivam. Dr. Gulab Tewani ji.
May I request Mr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, Director Sammati Wellbeing, to come on the stage. and Dr. Abhay Shankar Gaura sir, Dean Ayos, Principal Subharti University, Maharshi Aurobindo Subharti Naturopathy College in Yoga. May I request both the guests to come on the stage to facilitate our respected Dr. Murthy sir and Sri Sant Manuji. Murthy sir. And Dr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, Director Samati Wellbeing, to facilitate Sri Sant Manuji, IAS Joint Secretary. बस दे देना. Thank you, sir. Sri Sant Manuji. Thank you, sir. Thank you all the revered guests. Thanks for your time. And a big round of applause. So we have been enriched through your experience and scientific sessions from yours.